what is up?
What's up?
Happy Easter.
Easter happy.
Easter happy. We are heading to Grandma's house right now.
Not my grandma.
No, my grandma.
But my grandma as well.
Yeah. To go celebrate Easter.
That makes sense.
And we figured on the hour-long drive that we would set up our podcast equipment and film on the way there because we've got a big day ahead of us. We're going to Six Flags with my siblings after Grandma's. So,
yeah.
Anyway, we thought we'd start doing icebreakers, and I came up with this one today. I got a Dutch Bros drink. Atlas doesn't drink Dutch Bros very much, but there are 4 flavors in here that he has to try and decipher. He already knows one of them. It's strawberry, and you can see it in there. So I want you to try and guess. There's 3 other flavors, and the color does help.
I'm assuming pineapple as well.
That is correct. I don't know how you got that.
It's pineapple color.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to guess it
more
without
yellow.
actually tasting it. Let's see about that. Raspberry?
No.
No.
Taste it. I'd try and get a drink in the middle.
That's mango.
No.
Is it a pink kind of thing?
No. The last 2 flavors are, I'll give you one color, blue.
Blue raspberry?
Yeah.
I was close.
I know.
That was mean.
And then there's one flavor left.
Is it like a?
It's
it a grape?
citrusy. That's what
Oh.
I'll
Like an orange?
try it.
I did try it.
The different citrus flavors they have are orange, lemon, lime, grapefruit. I think.
Grapefruit.
No.
No. Lemon lime.
Lemon and lime are 2 separate ones.
Lime.
It's lime. I thought you'd get that one immediately because it was green.
I didn't see green be so real. I saw more yellow than anything else.
Anyway, I'm going to give you 2 out of 3.
I got pretty close.
Yeah, good job.
I got both of those without tasting it. Which I don't know what that says about my taste buds, but...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to even taste that there's pineapple in here. Or anything, really.
You just said, oh, the color's obvious. I'm like, oh, okay, well then, pineapple, let's start with that.
Pineapple's yellow, though. I don't know how you even would...
It looks yellow to me. I know there's a green tint to it for the record, but it's like, as
Well,
far as like
also
an overwhelming color, I'd call
The
that.
Rebel Energy drink is yellow, too. So all of them kind of look like this.
Well, I don't know that personally. I went with instinct, and I was right. Probably in the wrong way, though, you know?
Yeah.
It was like pineapple, and you're like, yes, but how did you get
But
there? I'm
how
like,
in the world is that the one
because
that
2 plus 2 equals 6, that's why. You're like, that's not, how did you do?
Any sense.
It's like, A does not equal B, bro. Stop that.
Anyway.
Welcome back to the Off Scott Free podcast. I am your host with the most, Atlas Scott, with my host, Olivia Scott. I do that every time, so I just wanted to make that known. It's April 5th, 2026.
It is Easter.
Easter time.
And we're going to recap
He has risen.
He has risen.
Indeed.
We're going to recap our week.
Yeah.
Starting with where we left off, because I think right before we went to dinner with your parents.
Yeah, we were doing
We filmed the podcast for last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about it.
It was a grand dinner.
Yeah, it was a great dinner.
I liked it a lot. It was fun. It's fun to get. This is something I like to talk about too. Is the transition from being a kid with your parents to an adult with your parents, because that's a very different relationship. And that might be obvious to everybody in the room, but it wasn't obvious to me.
Well, also to some people, it's not that big of a transition because their parents don't treat them like an adult.
Yes.
So I think me and Atlas are both pretty fortunate that both sets of our parents are like, you're an adult now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk like you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
which is great.
their goal as parents for us, like they've literally told me this pretty recently actually, that they wanted us to be independent and be able to be self-sufficient, which I think is a great thing. I think that's a great thing, because then you're raising children to be able to take on the world without, being dependent on parents that you shouldn't be dependent on, in my opinion, at least in this day and age. We're not in the village society anymore. We're not always this close. We have a lot of freedom, especially in America, and to not have the mindset when you're raising your children to at least have some kind of plan to get them out of the house so that they can be self-sufficient, so that they can live their lives to the fullest they can, instead of just being cooped up in their own room for their entire life. I think that's a good thing. And so that's been really cool to see how their parenting has affected my life, so that I can come back to them full circle of like, all right, so now that I'm not your kid anymore, I am a child of yours. I'm not your kid anymore.
You're literally 25 and
25, married. Doing my own thing, paying my own bills. It's like all the things, And so I think that's really cool to see that past that you can have a relationship with people that you depended on beforehand. Now you're just hanging out with.
It feels like, and obviously I don't know what your relationship with your parents felt like prior to me, but it feels like...
Well, got through seasons, I feel like with all relationships,
But it feels like there's a lot of, like, they place a lot of value and respect on both of us as well, and it's like they actually care what we're saying.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they asked us what our sermon was about last week, and we talked about it for a bit, and Atlas's dad was like, tell me more.
He was like,
where can I listen to this?
Pretty cool, bro. I like what you're talking about. You should send me the link.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's just kind of validating too, because it's like...
And I'm like, you were my dad.
Yeah. He's like, man, this is good stuff. You wrote it down, but can I write it down?
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, oh.
It's like, all right, friend, let's...
Yeah.
Like, I'm like this close to dabbing up my father, so it's like, things are cool. That's what I say.
It's really great. And Atlas's mom made great pasta.
Oh, yeah. She's really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of her main dishes I know that she makes. Does a great job.
It was very great.
Can't go wrong with that.
And you can't go wrong with the Eatsy's Caesar salad. We need to start getting those more.
Those are good. I work next to an Eatsy's, like very close, about a 2-minute walk.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like really lazy. I didn't bring lunch, and I'm at that point in the day where I'm like, if I don't eat now, then I have to wait till dinner. I don't want to do that. And so I'll go and get either like a salad or a sushi there. Usually a salad because it's substantially less expensive and more filling. And their Caesar salads are great. They're very fresh.
Their Caesar salads are so good.
Highly recommend.
I may have you next week when we're having spaghetti squash one night. I may have you go pick up a Caesar salad for our
It's stupid simple. I'm literally right next to it.
They're also pretty big, so it's really easy to share.
Yeah.
So
I've had only like 2 on my own, and like it's an undertaking. You gotta want to eat it.
Yeah, but you also don't feel terrible eating it because it's a salad.
Oh, you're like, I feel refreshed and I'm filled. Let's keep working.
Yeah. But anyway, great dinner. The only thing was the cake. Atlas's mom was like, would Atlas want an Italian cream cake or a red velvet cake? And I was sitting there kind of at a standstill because I'm like, he doesn't like either of these cake flavors, not really.
Yeah.
But at least Italian cream is in chocolate.
It's like, well, it had nuts in it.
Yeah.
And I love nuts on their own. She's not a big fan of nuts either way.
No.
But in a cake kind of setting, it's not the biggest cool thing for me. I don't like it personally.
Well, it kind of makes them soft too.
Yeah, it makes
really
them soft. It's a weird
softness.
texture. I'm a big texture guy, and so it's like if we can get the texture right, it's great. I can usually eat any flavor at that point. But this was just one of those times where I was like, I can't really eat much of this. I'm really trying here.
I ate my entire cake slice, but I picked every single nut out of it.
Yeah. Well, she saw me like going through a pretty large slice, I'll say. And I got it like halfway through, and she was like, do you want me to take that? And I'm like, yes, please. Like, kind of like silently during the dinner. And so, it's fine.
I didn't eat your cake.
I think you might have just like taken it. I don't know if you actually ate it.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Anyway.
Yes, the object is still there on the road. Anyways, so we had that. Then we came home, and so
we had to go get Atlas's stuff from his office because he had a shoot pretty early in the morning the next day.
Yeah, it was a later night than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and we had already gotten home around 9, so now we're leaving again to go.
Yeah.
And
we got there at 9, and I told her, I was like, I have to get the stuff. I don't know.
And my cats are my entertainment.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if, hear me out, we bring Hugo to the office? And you were like, what? No. Why would we bring Hugo? And I was like,
this
please.
is not going to end well.
I was like, I'll put him in a tote bag. I'll bring him
like,
just in the tote
he
bag.
doesn't want to be in a tote bag.
And then I put him in the tote bag and he just stayed there.
Yeah,
and Atlas was like, I mean, if he's just like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we'll take your car because if he pees or poops, I'd rather be in your car. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So we did. He didn't pee or poop. He did a good job. He did not want to be there, though.
He me out a lot.
Yeah.
He was not a fan.
I don't think he seemed to be very anxious the whole time, so I feel bad for putting him through that.
Yeah.
But we did take him to, what's that place called?
Andy's.
Yeah, and we got him a little.
We got him a little sweet treat.
A little sweet treat.
It was a
as
little
reward.
cone. We asked for like a
cute.
pub cup kind of thing, like a little whipped cream cup. They didn't have that. They don't have whipped cream there, which I was actually shocked by.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Would you like a little sweet treat for your cat?" And I'm like, and she was like, "Yes," because she was at the door.
And it was one of those teeny tiny little mini cones.
It was the sweetest little thing I've ever seen.
I think what he said, he called it a sample. So I guess they give samples
do you want
of
a
their.
sample? Yeah. And it was a little tiny ice cream cone.
It was so
little like
cute.
cake cone kind of thing.
It was perfect.
And he loved it. And he stopped licking it for a little bit, and then like I put it down on the floor once we got back to the place, and because I was like, you guys can eat this, but they didn't really realize that. And then there was a very critical moment where Willow bit into the cone, and she realized
it crunched.
and then she took it.
And then she ran.
Once she knows that she can eat something and it's too large for her to like swallow it full, which is like most things, she's like, all right.
That happened the other day too, because I was eating my leftover Piata wrap, I had like the tin foil from it. It had a little bit of like those little bacon bits in it.
Yeah.
But I had crumpled it up, but Willow could smell the bacon bits inside of the tin foil, and she grabbed the whole wad of tin foil and ran under the bed with it.
Yeah.
She's like, I will get into it. I will find it.
She ran. I didn't really see what was really happening, but Willow ran, and then Liv came up, followed her, and I was like, what's happening there? Because I was like, if it's just food, you'd be like, fine, you have it, you have the food. And so but then you came to the trash can like after like a minute. It was like the tinfoil. I'm like, did they take the tinfoil? He was like, yeah, Willow took the tinfoil, and I'm like, of course. Because it's like it's laced with like the food remnants, and it smells like food, and it's like oil and stuff.
So stupid.
But it's like they act like they haven't eaten their entire lives, and so I'm just like,
they
all
get
right.
fed multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah, but every time they get fed, they're just like, I have not seen food in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
You were fed 2 hours ago.
You were and they'll sit there, and then when it gets like really close, Willow just like sits there next to the feeder or on the couch, just like waiting for this feeder to go off, and I'm just sitting there like, it's not gonna get. I mean, like.
Well, I kind of get Willow because Hugo's a vacuum.
Yeah.
And so she's like, if I can get there first, at least I can get my fair share.
I get like 10% more than I usually get, which is like not a lot.
Poor Willow. She's just a little thing.
But they both fight for it though. Like she's got some feist in her, and Hugo's interesting as well.
She definitely does. Yeah.
But that happened.
Yeah. So talk about we went to go get the equipment for your shoot. Talk about what that was.
It wasn't too much.
No, it's not your typical kind of shoot either.
No,
This is probably the only time you'll do something like this.
Probably, yeah. We'll see. But I think so. This guy is a guy that works at Merge, Liv's place of work, and I've done a lot of photos for Merge, a lot of media for Merge, and he knows that. Matt knows that, and his mom is on the back end of her life, and they wanted to preserve her house through photos. And since I do real estate photos, they're like, Atlas is the perfect guy for this job. So, which is true, I'd say. At least I like to think. And so he texted me up. Actually, you talked to me about it first, and then I reached out to Matt, and Matt confirmed, basically saying, hey, I wanna solidify this house in photos. I want to make a photo book of it. Down to pay whatever and like figure it out. And I was like, I'm down to do it for free, debatably. But like, let's figure out like hard costs and figure that out. So we negotiated from there, and finally put down a date, and that was this last Monday, like March 29th or 30th. And yeah, it was really cool. It was really interesting. And I think it's a very high calling, I'd say. I think some people, I don't know. I think some people would be like, it's just a house. But like, I really do try to, when it comes to my business stuff, I'm a big feeler, and I find I make my best art when I can, especially when serving other people, to put myself in their shoes and be like, if I were them, what would I want? And I go from there. And so I really took my time with the shoot. I got there around 8 a.m. Got a little walkthrough with Matt's sister. Matt was on a call, but Matt's
Just me.
Yeah. It's true. That's funny. But yeah, he was on a work call, not shocking, but with his sister. His sister kind of came in, cleaned some stuff up, showed what specifically they wanted to photograph, which was just the entire house, which is not a shock. Big thing that they talked about was the front yard, and they wanted good photos of that, so I try to kind of focus on that kind of stuff. But when I come to a house, or specifically with any kind of subject, I just kind of like, I let my eyes take me where they want to go, where they know that like there'll be times where I'll have my lens, I'll have my camera, I'll have my tripod, and I'll be ready, and I'll look around. There's times where I was shooting the house, and I was like, oh, that's a cool shot, and like anytime I have that mindset, I know from experience that I'm like, all right, shoot that shot right now, because it's like you don't know if that's ever going to come back or if you're going to forget about it.
What Matt told me about this was that his mom is, they're about to move her into a nursing home.
Yeah, it's a hospice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think that's...
I don't know if it's hospice.
Is that the same thing? That's not the same thing.
Hospice is you are terminally ill.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
Assisted living.
Yeah.
My bad. Not that serious.
No. She's...
But
she was in the hospital last week.
I believe she's in the hospital.
So she may be like close
somewhere
we don't know, but
probably in the last years of her life.
But what Matt had told me is her moving out of this home was something that was so hard for her because that she has so many memories there with her family. Yeah. And she wasn't ready to let go of that physical place.
Well,
so for her birthday, they wanted to find a way to capture all of it so that she'd always be able to hold on to it and the memories. And they could still sell the house.
Obviously, that too. What I learned, I don't know if you know this, I learned from the sister of Matt that their mom and her husband built the house and they went over budget pretty heavily, and they didn't think they would actually make money off of it. And because of how real estate has gone, especially recently, they will be making money off of it. But it was really cool because that makes it even more special because you built the house. It's your house, which I think is very different than just buying a house that you really liked and you lived in it a long time. And so, anyways, I found great honor with shooting it, especially just, with how new I am to real estate photography. I'm not new to photography in general, and I've been able to utilize that skill into a more niche kind of skill, which is real estate photography. A little different, but very similar. And so I don't know. I took my time. I took my time with shooting the photos. I think I got done around like 12:30. And it's not a large house. It is a one-story house with, I think, probably maximum 3 or 5 bedrooms, big old living space, kitchen, some niche places as well, a garage and stuff like that. Didn't take anything of the garage. I didn't think you needed that, honestly. I can come back and take pictures of the garage if they really want me to. But anyways, everything else I took as many detailed photos as possible because I think that'd be really cool for a photo book. And yeah, that was kind of the mindset there. And that took.
So you're gonna make a photo book.
Yeah, I'm working with a real estate photo editor just to get like the culling and the basic editing out of the way because it's just a few photos. I think in total I'll probably have between 100 and 150 edited photos. I took technically in total raw I took around 500 photos, but I take bracketed photos so that you have HDR. So like it's technically 3 photos per photo. But it's not everything's bracketed. It's a weird math equation, but eventually I'll probably have around 100 photos to choose from, and that's a good amount for the book that we're trying to make. And so, anyways, got that done. Hey, that took a lot.
Yeah, Matt seemed to be very pleased with it because I saw him the next day. We went on a, I say plant tour. It was more of a, I don't even know if I'd call it a factory. We have
a warehouse.
Yeah, well, it was this local custom door manufacturer that we just got last summer access to. So you'll send like inspiration photos and like the different specifications for the kind of door that you want, and they will make shop drawings. You'll approve of them, and they will just build it from wood to pre-hung door.
Yeah.
Exactly how you want it to be in their warehouse, and it's so crazy. But they have multiple different places, and anyway, we just got to see how it all worked, and got to go get lunch with the owner and some of his guys who works with him, and his story's crazy. And we're all Jesus lovers, so it was nice being able to sit down with 2 different companies that come together, and we're both built on the same kind of thing. So that was really awesome. But Matt came up to me and he was like, I got to hang out with your husband yesterday. He did a really great job taking his time, in that house, and I think he's going to honor it very well. And I was like, I promise you he will. And I told him, I was like, Atlas really tried to put himself in like y'all's shoes. Like if this was my parents' house, what would I want to be captured? And so he really took his time there, and Matt was like, I really appreciate that. Like, I know he's always going to take what he does very seriously. That's the kind of guy he is. And I was like, that is.
It's true.
He always takes everything that he does probably way too seriously.
I like what I do.
Yeah, but it's pretty awesome.
No, I got emotional throughout all of the house because I was like, if it was my parents' house, I don't know if I could actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm like, thankfully I'm not in the family, so I could be like, this is not my place. This is not my place. I can just be like the photographer and try to figure out what they want.
Yeah, for sure. But it's good. That afternoon, on Monday, when I was coming home from work, my check engine light came on.
Oh yeah.
So that was so fun.
Did you text me that or call me that?
I think I told you in person.
Might have. Either way, she told me.
Because I was on the phone with my mom.
That's true.
And it came on, yeah.
You're like, my check engine light's on. I'm like, that's crazy.
And I was like, and because you're my husband, do you think that you could go take it to a mechanic tomorrow?
You did call me about it. I remember actually, because I remember I was at work, and it was like 4:20 or 4:30, and it was past the time that I felt like you should have called me because you were out of.
Usually I call him pretty early.
You were out of work, and usually around 4 I can expect a call from my wife.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting it, which I was like, that's fine. I'll just keep on editing. So keep on editing, and then I get a call. I'm like, oh, there she is. And then you told me about it, and you're like, could you fix it for me, please? And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't like to deal with anybody that deals with cars.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like I am totally capable of going and figuring it out.
No,
Anyway.
she is not incapable, for the record.
But everybody knows this. People tend to take advantage of women by themselves.
It's a lot harder to try to, like,
You know.
I don't know, swindle, if you will, a guy
Yeah.
that looks like me.
Oh my gosh, an Atlas will not get swindled.
No, you can't. You really can't.
He's way too blunt and way too upfront, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, are you being real with me?" And I'm too much of a pushover to.
You're like, just do whatever you need
to confront anybody about anything.
Yeah,
you know.
I will.
So
I will negotiate wherever necessary.
Yeah.
And I'll try to be nice about it. I think that's the one thing too. I'm not trying to be like, well, screw you. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, dude, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But just like be real with me. Like, are you sure this is the move?
Yeah.
Like I can usually tell it's like you're not really saying the right thing, or you're saying too many things for this. I'm not stupid with cars, but I'm definitely not a mechanic. And so I'm able to help in this way. And so
you're like, what do you mean blinker fluid?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's like, do you know what a blinker is? It's an LED light. There's no fluid for that, brother. You need electricity.
It's funny. But anyway, he did take it there.
Took it the next day.
Yeah, talk about that.
Basically, I don't know if I worked out that day. Was it a Wednesday?
It was Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
It was Tuesday. Yes, it was Tuesday. It was indeed. So I wasn't working. I don't know. Woke up, got ready, took the car. I was like, all right, we're gonna go to quick car loop, see what it is. Like, that's the thing. Because that was my big thing. Because it's like, once you can figure out what it is, then you can figure out whether or not it's totaled, which is very important. Because if it is totaled, then you got to buy a new car. But if it isn't totaled, then you can fix it.
I knew it wasn't totaled.
You never know. Cars happen that way. Thankfully, it's a Honda, so I was like, I think it'll be fine. And so I went there, and I think it was $125 or $150 just upfront charge for them to diagnose it, so they could figure out what's wrong with it. It takes an hour of work, it's a whole thing. And called her. I was like, hey, are we cool to just like bite this bullet? Like, if we get it fixed here, they won't charge us this specifically. It'll probably be more, obviously, but like, are we cool with this? And you were like, for sure. You were with your dad, and your dad was like, you can or can't. And I'm like, all right. Well, then I want to, because I want to figure this out. Like, if I really need to go to a different place, I believe God will put me in the right places.
Well, my dad was saying, like O'Reilly's or AutoZone, they have the same computer that these places have, and they won't charge you. They'll just go plug it up and figure out what the engine is saying, or the car is saying is wrong.
They will give you the error code, which, by the way, that's assuming you know how to read an error code.
But you can plug it into like ChatGPT and diagnose it kind of yourself.
You could do that.
That's what he was saying, and he was like, however, if you would rather just have professionals do it,
here's the
then
thing.
go for it.
My thing with cars, and I kind of disagree with your father on this one, probably because I have lack of skill. If you think about the concept of a car, it's a very dangerous thing. If it doesn't work, if the engine explodes, or if the tires fail, or anything fails, and you're going 80 miles per hour on the road, like, bad things can happen very quickly when you go fast. And so there might be a fear base, and I'm not trying to be fearful, like, overtly, but I also think, for as much as I know you use a car, and as much as I know I use a car, and as much as I know we both rely on cars, I believe it's very smart to rely on people that have specialization and skill to figure it out, more than me with ChatGPT being like, what do you think I should do?
Well, my dad knows a lot about cars, so I think that's why he is so like, hey, it's smarter, you don't have to pay as much if you kind of diagnose it yourself.
I'm like, yes, but I also think about time too, because it's like, when you're specialized, as I know this with being specialized in any skill, you will go faster than anybody that's just trying to figure it out themselves. And so, either way, I appreciate the time savings, and I appreciate a person that has all the tools and knows way more than I will ever know, probably, about a car. If I wanted to figure it out, I probably could. I don't really want to, honestly. So, with that mentality, I was like, go ahead, diagnose it. And so for like 3 hours,
don't know why it took so long. From
well,
what you told
they
me
explained it.
they were doing specifically, it didn't seem to make that much sense to me.
They were coming from a place, and obviously, who knows? At this point, who knows? But they were basically saying they were trying, like, the code that they were getting was not lining up with them trying to, like, replicate it. They were trying to figure out how or and why the code that was happening, all the things happening, and they're like, so basically you have two options. Like, once they finally quote unquote diagnosed it, which they really didn't, they're like, you can either do this small thing, this smaller fix, if you will, which was about $600 of changing spark plugs and doing something to the engine. I would love to tell you more than that. I don't remember.
The fuel pump wasn't. It was like misaligned or something like that. Like it wasn't consistent.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
They had to recalibrate it and probably change out some filters.
Sure, filter. Yeah, there's definitely a filter thing. Like I said, I'm not versed in cars, but
I read the receipt.
but she read the receipt. We have it in here if you really want to read it. But they're like, you can do this thing, which probably will fix it. And he was like, however, I've seen this before. And it's like, it's a 50-50 shot. And if that doesn't fix it, then you're going to need to do this next option thing, which is like $2,000. And I'm like, oh, yo, that's a much bigger number. And he was like, you're basically like replacing valves and all these things about the engine. And I'm just sitting there like, well, I know what I prefer. Because, and his thing too was like, if you do the $600 option and it doesn't work, then you're doing an additional $2,000 of work. But if you just want to full send it, then it's only $2,000. Which I'm like, all right, okay. And I kind of just point blank straight up ask him. I'm like, what do you think I should do? And obviously that might be the wrong person to ask, but I also think it's the right person to ask. I trust God. Sorry. I prayed about it before. So I was like, hey, mechanic, what do you think I should do? And he was like, honestly, I would do the lesser option and you'll be fine. I really think you'll be fine. But also at the same time, you still have that other equally opportune option of needing to pay more money. And so I thought about it, I talked to you about it, and you're like, I think we should just go to 600 and go from there. And I was like, that's fair. That's kind of where I was leaning anyways. Let's do it.
And currently, no issues.
Currently, yeah. At this point, yeah.
We're in my car right now.
Yeah, clearly it's working.
Yeah.
This is her car. It's working. It gave us some trouble lights like a couple hours after I got out of that place, but that was, to my knowledge, from what I've seen from ChatGPT, it was just
in my professional opinion.
In the professional opinion of GPT, it was just resetting certain things, because it was like giving like so many lights, plus like the brake light was on, and like the e-brake was not on at all. And so I was like, this doesn't make sense. So I was gonna actually take it to the shop again, but then for some reason it turned everything off, and it was like, actually, we're good to go. I'm like, all right, that's not what you told me before. Like almost every light went on, and I was like, oh no. So I got really scared, but thankfully it seems to be fine right now, Lord willing. But that was a whole odyssey on my end. Took out some time, but she has a good car and it's working out. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So.
But that night.
Yeah, that evening.
Yeah.
I went to Grandma's, and Atlas went to go film the Timbre lyric video.
Yeah, that's a song of mine, of Annex B's.
That will be coming out semi-soon.
Pretty soon. Pretty close to this one for sure. This podcast, to my knowledge.
When does Oblivion release?
It's the next release. I can look that up pretty quickly. Let me get it up.
Is it later this month?
Let's see. So Oblivion comes out May 1st. So literally right past April. So we're in April 5th right now. But we'll probably get like right next to it once this releases. Probably a week or two out at that point. But anyways, shooting that, did a time-lapse thing on the top of Legacy West parking garage. I think it looks really cool.
It looks really sick.
Did some fun editing with it.
It's very streaky.
Very
and that
streaky.
Was the point.
called it long exposure photography. Took like about an hour and a half to shoot the time lapse for a minute of footage. It's a fun thing about time lapses. It take a long time.
Yeah.
A bunch of lapses in time, if you will. Anyways, it takes a while. That's why I usually don't do time lapses in general. But it was really fun. It was really cool, and she got to see me on the very latter half of all of it. Got to see the setup and everything, and then that was it. That was it for that day.
Yeah.
So it was a long day. It was a bit of a time. And then on Wednesday, I did a shoot with my boy Tom Luciato. He hires me to do video stuff for a car dealership down in Killeen, Texas. It's one of his clients for MDR television, and we have to drive so long to get to Killeen. It's such a far place. It doesn't to me it doesn't make sense for a dealership like that to hire a DFW based video production service.
Well, it's like you're so close to Austin.
I
Why?
know you're almost there at that point. Honestly, I always forget how long the drives are because it's the monthly thing for us at this point, which is really cool. Very, very, very honored that he hires me out to do it, and I have enough time in between shoots that I'm like, it's probably not that long, is it? And I always get shocked by the fact that it's 2.5 hours of driving.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because you get picked up at 7, and then you're back by like 1.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't make sense in my brain.
Yeah.
That you went all the way to Austin basically, and came all the way back, and you did a shoot, and you're back by like 1 p.m. And I'm like at work, and the work day still has 3 more hours.
It's usually around 2, I'll say.
Yeah.
But still, it's a weirdly short shoot, but it's a long amount of driving. And I know about it, so it's totally on me if I want to keep doing it. But I like it. I like him. I like the shoot. It's very simple. We do podcast stuff, short form podcast stuff. It's kind of funny for what it is. It's a dealership doing podcasting, and they seem to be doing well with it. And I'm quite okay with filming it, but that usually just takes my day. But this was a different day because this was the last day for this run for Hail Mary of the 70mm version for IMAX to be shown until Super Mario Bros. Takes all the IMAX screens for a bit. I did later learn that they will be rerunning the 70mm IMAX stuff for Hail Mary pretty soon, like on the latter half of April. And I kind of knew that, but I was like, just in case that doesn't happen, because I'm pretty scared whenever movies don't, whether or not a movie will get re-released in a certain form, especially 70mm.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll go, and I wanted to go with her, but because of timing, we went to like a 3:35 or 3:25
Well,
showtime.
it was because of demand, demand.
Also, a bunch of people were taking seats.
Yeah. Well, I know Atlas, and he loves to watch movies from the very center of the movie theater, or as close to it as you can get. I'm more of a in the back kind of person. I'm okay being off to the edge. I just don't want to be at the very front.
Which I have no problem with things that don't matter that much.
Yeah.
You know, we went to go see Hoppers, the Pixar film, in the back, and it was a dope time.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. I have no problem.
Well, I like not having to be next to people.
Yes, which I also appreciate as well.
Yeah.
But I'm also a fanatic for films, and I know that the middle, viewing-wise, is always the best, and that's kind of why I'm there. So that's where I come from on that. And so there's only so many tickets, and because of the other times I didn't have a lot of tickets, especially in the place that I wanted to, and just especially the timing for the tickets that were available that I could go to, that you couldn't go to, we were like, just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so eventually we will take her to a 70mm IMAX screening someday. We will do it.
Maybe for the Odyssey.
Probably for the Odyssey. Because I want to see the Odyssey so bad in 70mm. They actually showed a snippet of the Odyssey in the front end of this showing, and it looks so cool.
I'm curious just to see, because I'm sure they do reruns all the time with the 70mm.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm curious to see what they've got going this summer, because I'd be down to go. And it's also Cinemark.
Yeah.
We have the membership for Cinemark.
We do.
Though that does expire after June.
That's true. Got to talk about that. We got to see if that comes into the budget, you know?
I think it's going to have to.
It might have to come into the budget, you know? We got to lay out those numbers.
Yeah.
But Cinemark is really, really cool. I think it's fun.
We love our Cinemark membership.
The Cinemark is so fun.
Though I
favorite movie theater chain of all time.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I do think that the AMC Stubs is a better deal.
It's a substantially better deal.
You can go as many times as you want.
I think it's 2 free movies per week.
Yeah.
I think that's the number. It's enough that it's like it's virtually.
I saw somebody do like 5 movies in 1 week with their AMC.
Yeah, it might carry over. I don't know.
I think there are different tiers too.
That's true. But there are
me and Atlas both really like Cinemark in general.
Yeah, but if we had the AMC Stubs, then it would just be free movies, which is really cool. So we might try that out, maybe for a couple months.
More money.
Like money wise?
Yeah. I don't know.
I can check this. That's simple sugar.
But anyway, that's just kind of like, it's kind of where we stand in that sense with movies.
Yeah. Okay, so they have a free tier, which is just like building up points. They have Premier Go, which is an earn free upgrade, which I don't even know what that means. All right, we're gonna talk about actual things. We have Premier, which is $18 a year. Ooh, that's not bad. $18 a year for Premiere, which I'm assuming is not what we want. The A-list is what we're looking at, which is $15 a month or $28 a month, which I believe that's specific to location. I've done this process before where I've looked at different memberships from AMC specifically, and it's like if you're in different areas, it'll charge you more. I know Alamo Drafthouse does the same thing, depending on what you want. And I also think it depends on how many times you want to go to the movies. So either way, totally down to like check that out, because I do like AMC as well, especially just with that deal alone. It's really cool.
I also think technically when we move, we're not going to be as close to, we'll have a Cinemark close to us because of that one that's in that parking garage in Frisco, I
know
think.
what you're talking about, yeah.
But we'll also be really close to a Flicks brew house.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what their
if they have a membership or something like that. It's interesting. Yeah. It's very nice.
We're just down to have as many free movies as possible because we really enjoy the theater experience.
We're looking for a deal, and we want to be moviegoers.
Yeah, that's
Big
our
fans.
thing.
Yeah. It'd also be like really cool if they didn't charge $25 a ticket. I don't know. That might just be the thing that's what's killing movies in general, but I'm just saying.
If we lived in Ennis, we'd be going to the drive-in theater all the time because their prices are so good.
It's ridiculously cheap at that point.
Yeah.
It's not even comparable.
And it's so nice because you just get to be in your car.
You can bring all the food you want. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
They want you to buy from them, and their prices aren't bad for their concessions either.
Yeah, but it's also your car, you know.
Galaxy Drive-In in Ennis. Go there. Please support it.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's really cute.
And it's so preserved.
It's so nice. Yeah,
like
it's so chill.
A lot of their previews and intermission type things are
very old.
It's what they used back in the day when it first opened. So nothing's changed.
No, it very much feels like 60s or 80s kind of deal.
Man, I wish they still did this, but when I first moved to Ennis, it was $8 a ticket and you get to see 2 movies back to back.
There you go.
And so they'd like bunch different ones together, and you'd get there at like maybe like 6, and they'd start playing around like 7, and so they'd have a brief intermission like 10-15 minutes in between movies, and you'd be there until like maybe midnight, depending on whatever movie you were watching.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was in high school, Captain Marvel came out 2 months before Endgame did, and so I got to see both of them for $8 and back to back.
Yeah.
But it really made me appreciate Endgame a lot better because Captain Marvel sucked compared to it.
Yeah. Captain Marvel is not great. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said,
Got to see Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
A little tangent.
Thursday was just kind of a limbo day. Friday, I had off of work, which was great.
She loves that.
Yeah, I was very glad about that. I
did not have off of work.
I started doing this thing. I had a box of things I wanted to sell. I didn't think it made sense for me to donate them because they seem to have some sort of value. And I had Atlas list them on Facebook Marketplace last summer, but he hates trying to sell things.
Well, it's just so annoying because people try to like negotiate with you, and it was a lot of items that you wanted to sell. And I've been through this before, and I just should have said no for the record. That's on me. But like,
you had offered it.
I did offer it.
Yeah.
But I should have just not offered it for the record. But it was in that stage of our dating relationship where I was like, I'll do anything. And I didn't have any boundaries, which is not smart. But anyways, I've done this before with my mom, where she wanted me to help her with selling stuff. And it got to the point with her where I wasn't doing anything, where she just started to figure it out. And then she was like, I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm so glad you're figuring it out because I don't want to do it.
But I went and I listed things on, I don't love eBay. I feel like a lot of scammy things happen with eBay.
It's usually just with computers from what I found. If you're not trying to sell a computer, it's usually fine.
But I personally love to buy used merch from Mercari. And I was like, I'm just going to try and sell things with Mercari because I already have a lot of really good ratings on there because I've bought so many things from there. And so I did, and it just kind of kicked off. And so this past week, I think I sold like 5 different things. I've made over $200. Over $300. Which is crazy. But it's like,
it's wild.
You've just got money sitting around your house, y'all. Just go.
It's assets.
Just go list it. Anyway, so I decided.
People want your stuff.
I decided on Friday I was gonna go get mailers to pack everything so that I could go drop it off at the post offices to ship out. And I got those things from Target. Well, I went and got Dutch Bros, and then I went to Target, and then I got my mailers, and then I got some makeup, and then me and Atlas met at Piata for lunch, which was great. And then after that, I went to our local record store, which is Josie Records. We love Josie Records. To the one that me and Atlas did our breach listening party at. And I got some vinyl packaging boxes for mailing too, because I sold 2 vinyls. Packaged everything up, and then I decided I was going to walk to the UPS store to get some steps in, because I've been trying to get around 20,000 steps per day, which is a lot. But I've been doing really good. Like this past week, I think I only missed 1 day, and that was the day where my period was literally just stabbing me with a knife.
I think it's a fair reason to say, I'm going to sit down.
And if I did it every other day of the week, then I think I'm okay.
That's a lot. That's a lot of steps.
I did get like 10,000 that day still. So
come on, she didn't stop.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I just slowed down a little bit. Anyway, I decided to walk to the UPS store. Got to the UPS store. I had my bag of stuff on my shoulder, and I realized that of my 4 items, only one of them did I select UPS shipping. The other ones, I had one that was supposed to be shipped out from FedEx, and the other was supposed to be shipped out from USPS. And I was like,
she likes to support local businesses.
I was like, why didn't I just pick them all as UPS? Why did I do it like this?
Hey, learning.
And so I got annoyed with myself, and then I at this point it was 3 p.m. I was like, how close is a FedEx to here? Because either I can walk home, it'll take me an hour to get home, and then I could drive to go drop these off, which at that point it would be 4, and all these places close at 5. And I was like, or I could walk to the FedEx, which I think was a 20-minute walk. And then I could walk to the USPS, which I think was an hour. But then I'd definitely make it to everything in time. And so I decided to walk. And I walked all the way. I walked from the Colony to Plano to Addison through Carrollton back to the Colony. And it was 13.1 miles. I walked a half marathon, which was crazy. But Atlas was not expecting me to take that much time.
No.
Because we had set the expectation that we were going to be filming lyric videos for Annex the last two?
Yeah,
the last two for Oblivion.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be filming those that evening, and I just had it in my mind that it was going to be at night when it was dark. I didn't think we had a specific time in mind, but Atlas was feeling some urgency because we knew it was going to rain. We were wanting to do some things with lights outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a little bit of feathers ruffled there.
Well, I called her.
Yeah.
Or I texted you. I think I texted you. And I was like, hey, it was like, I want to say.
You said you were on your way home,
it was
and
like,
that was at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like around 5. I'm like, she's probably waiting. I should probably go home. Let's get out of here. Let's get this thing rolling.
At this point, I'm in Addison.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to head home. And you're like, that's crazy. I'm an hour out. I'm like, oh, okay.
More than an hour out at that point. Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then I'll just do the errands that I know I need to do to get the shoot running. So I went to like Target to like get like a gas can, went to the storage unit to get the gas tank and lights and stuff, then went to go to literally the gas station to get the gas tank filled up, and then I went home. And then that's about the time that you actually got there. So the funny part, I don't know how much of a difference it actually made, but it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because you were tired and you were like, let's just chill for a second.
Well, we also needed to eat.
Yeah.
And we had food at home, and so I was like, let's just make a pizza. And I think Atlas was just like, every second that we were still at home, the more urgent he was feeling that we needed to leave.
The higher chance, the more we stayed at home, the higher chance we were to be caught in the middle of a rainstorm while all my lights and all my gear is out outside. And I don't think you were feeling that.
No, I had no
that.
clue what was going on. I didn't know anything about the weather, really. I knew it may rain because we had talked about it before. But you had said it would be a good thing for it to rain because you were kind of wanting to get a shot of the rain. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm sure Atlas has got this figured out. That was my...
You trusted me a lot. And then what I failed with was giving you a full structure of this is how the day needs to go for this to be successful.
Right.
And because of lack of communication on both ends, I was like, okay, well, we're already here, so let's just go.
Yeah. So we found a spot. It was not exactly what we thought the location was going to look like based off of Google Maps, but it actually worked out pretty well because we were hidden from the street view by 2 buildings.
It was like a new, I call it warehouse.
New construction.
Probably like a truck thing.
Yeah.
And we were like in between 2 buildings, and it was like actually really dope.
Yeah.
Nobody was there except for like workers that were not close to us at all.
Which were making sound, which was good because we needed to run a generator. And so having, somebody's selling puppies.
There's some puppies in the back of the truck.
Anyway, but it was good because if the workers were already making loud generator type sounds, we were going to just kind of
we have a generator too.
Yeah.
Let me join in the rambunctious noise.
Yeah, and so we got out our generator, we set up all the lights, and
once we were out, we were going quick. Like we weren't trying to waste time. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually, I was like sitting there like, this is going great.
Right before we were about to hit record,
I looked to my right and I just see dots of like darker concrete, which is rain. And I was like, oh no. And I told her, I told you, I was like, it's sprinkling right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, let's just do it.
Yeah, and the worst part was when we were about to hard launch, then a truck pulls up.
Oh my gosh, I got so scared.
These headlights start to approach us.
And they're going slow, by the way. And so I'm like, I gotta turn everything off.
It's clearly somebody who was working there because the noise that had been going had stopped.
Yeah. The noise stopped, and then they were coming through, so I'm like, oh, we're screwed now. Yeah. Because we're not on property that is ours. And so I'm just like, I always have the mindset, of course, I've shifted this from high school where I would fight for this. And now I'm just like, anytime I'm on a place that I know I don't really have permission to be in, but I also know that it's not like obvious that.
Well, it didn't say no trespassing.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything like there was no
but with
red
hindsight,
flags really.
But with hindsight, we can both probably agree that it's like probably should not have been there. It's not our place.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mindset is always, especially when I do stuff like this, is if anybody comes in with authority that's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here, I come in with heavy apologetics and I leave.
Yeah.
I get out of there. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I totally thought I could be here.
Yeah.
Not trying to do anything weird. We're just trying to shoot a video. So sorry. We'll get out of here. Don't call the cops.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. And they just slowly passed us. And nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I turned off the generator and everything. I turned up everything so that if they needed to talk to us, they could talk to us without any noise or any garbage happening.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop us.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that they left is because of the rain. Because I think they partly knew that it was going to rain.
And it was so funny because after they left, Atlas just kind of went like, well, I'm going to take that as grace. He turned the generator back on and he was like, okay, we're going.
I didn't hear or see a no. And so I turned everything on and I'm like, let's do it.
Right now. We're going for it. And I was like, what about the rain? And you're like, I don't care. We're going.
Figure it out. Until I see a fire, we're going to keep going.
Yeah. And so we did 2 takes. The second take, that was the one.
I like that one.
Yeah, we figured it out. So
because you mimed the movements and everything. She did great at it. She acted like Eli as the character.
Yeah, I acted in this one, y'all.
She did great. She did
Faceless.
great job. Faceless. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But once that was done, I don't know if it was you that like launched the build, but both of us were like, let's get out of here.
Well, you were like, and cut. And then I like took off the wig, ran out, and I just started unplugging things, putting things down. Because it's raining now. And so we're just like, we're both frantically running.
And you were kind of like, what do you want to do? I'm like, just put everything in the car. Yeah. Everything needs to be under something right now.
Well, I was like, the thing we need to prioritize the very most is these lights,
oh my gosh,
the generator, and your camera and computer.
All
those need to get undercover.
I'd already put the computer in the car
Yes.
before we started shooting anything because I'm like, if the computer gets wet, it's done.
Yes.
But I knew the lights could have some sort of grace there.
Yeah.
I know they're built pretty well.
And then I was like, then we got to worry about wires,
Yes.
and then stands,
Yes.
and then our wagon.
The stands couldn't matter less, you know.
Yeah.
But everything else was just like, let's just get everything in. We know we're gonna have to dry this off anyways. It's just gonna suck. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. But we figured it out, and we did it.
It was like honestly. It was pretty chill.
Yeah. We both we walked in.
We're just like nonverbal, just go.
And that's something I like about both of us is that we're both able to just get it done when it needs to be done.
It's a full mindset. When we know the mission, it's a pretty simple sugar kind of thing.
And it's really good because neither of us really take it personally either. It's just, and we just got to keep going.
And she's a 2 and I'm a 4. So it's like, I don't need the words, but I know that it's helpful on the latter end.
I was just waiting for the words the whole time. I was like, just tell me you're proud of me.
Oh, yeah.
Just tell me you're glad.
On the way, I was like, hey, you did a great job. Wouldn't want to work with anybody else. Killed it. And you're like, whoop!
Yes, I will do this every day for the rest of my life if you want me to.
Nothing's stopping me. I'm like, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, I'm really hoping my gear didn't die right there.
Yeah.
And I believe it's fine. Like it was not a torrential downpour.
No, it was more just like sprinkling.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And pretty immediately after that, we tried to go to different parks. Eventually found a park, did like the Golden Part 2 lyric video.
Yes.
Very simple.
Just rain and headlights.
Yeah. It actually looks really cool for what I got.
Yeah, he edited it pretty insanely.
It looks
interesting. Great. Yeah.
And that's all I needed to be, honestly.
So we're glad about that. That was very successful.
Yeah.
Came home. Last thing is Saturday was a pretty lazy day for us.
Chill day. Didn't mean to be, but honestly, from what we had yesterday or the day before, which we got to bed at like around like really 2 or 3 a.m. It was pretty late.
It was very late, and we were both exhausted. We slept in so late on Saturday.
We didn't wake up until we really needed to.
Yes.
We basically woke up to eat.
We woke up and we went and ate.
Yeah.
And we just kind of hung out. We finished watching Love is Blind Season 3, the Dallas one, and we came to the conclusion after watching that we're not going to watch anymore. Love is Blind.
Yeah. You gotta be careful about what you feed your soul. That's what I told her.
Yeah.
And I was like, we just gotta it's a funny show. And it definitely kind of brings out a gossipy part of me where I'm just like, what is wrong with them?
Well, we kept pausing it and being like, I hate her.
Yeah.
You know?
It was bringing up emotions that were funny, but I could tell just overall, if we kept doing it, it probably wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
So we just had to be aware of that.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also very good to recognize, you know, where people are worse than you.
Oh yeah.
You know,
100%.
and recognize how good you got it, you know, and I think it's good to put that into perspective, which is really good. And I'm glad that we don't live in such a
tumultuous relationship,
toxic relationship, man.
Yeah. Blamey relationship, not trusting, like such distrust, such forcing, lack of God, so many things. I'm just like,
just terrible.
I'm just like, this is such. And I'm like, this is peace right here.
Yeah.
And I look at their relationships and Love Is Blind. I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah. Why are you there?
And like every time any problem would come up, I'm like, this can be easily solved by either leaving, because like this is just toxic as crap, you shouldn't be there, or talking.
Yeah.
Just being honest and accepting the faults of the others. And it's like there was just such lack of grace, such lack of foresight, such like. I don't know. There's such jumpiness, and like obviously, so the concept of Love Is Blind is just like within a month you try to find your person without seeing them, you propose to them without seeing them, and then you see them.
It's like within 10 days is when all the proposals happen.
Yeah, and then you like go on like a vacation together, and then you live together, and then you make a decision on the altar, which is insane. I think that's stupid. For your real life. Yeah. It's great for TV, though. It kept me engaged.
Yeah, but we felt awful there's this one couple specifically, Zenib and Cole, and they both claimed to be heavy Christians, but both of them were showing a lot of heavy faults.
Oh, they both had heavy vices that made it very confusing to be like, okay, I get that you prayed twice in this show, but it's like, that doesn't make you Christian.
And it's also like neither of them were 100% right or 100% wrong.
No, they both kind of sucked.
But at a certain point, Zenib took it way too far.
Zenib came out for blood, like in a lot of ways, especially in the altar.
And she just like completely tried to defame this poor person. And me and Atlas just got so defensive for Cole.
I was so sad for Cole because he was just clearly just immature, just a boy trying to make it work.
Well, he was also this ray of sunshine, this bubbly, fun golden retriever, and that's how he's always been. And Zenib just like completely just absorbed the crap out of it and didn't give him anything back.
Just snuffing out the flame.
Yes. And it just made me so upset.
To me, they're clearly a very bad match, which is why I think, which is where I came from, like the two pieces of advice. I'm like, they should have just not been with each other. They should have just left. Like.
And from what we've seen with our research afterwards about where they're at, it seems like after Love Is Blind, Cole developed a very bad
substance addiction.
Substance
abuse.
And then he was sober for 6 months and decided to go off of social media. So now nobody really knows what's going on with him. That was about a year ago.
Good for him.
Yeah, but that poor guy, like, I'm sure that just completely ruined his life. And also, he was sacrificing so much of himself because his family didn't agree with what he was doing, and he was still actively pursuing her. He was like, let's do this,
even though the family meant a lot to him.
His family meant everything to him. Yeah, and he just wanted, they said that they would be willing to meet her after they got married, and so he was just ready for them to be married so he could introduce her to them.
No, he was like, let's just get this out of the way. And he was also making plans to go to the to Europe so that he could they could do a reception for her family, because a lot of her family's in Europe, specifically the UK.
Yeah.
And just like stuff like that, where I was just sitting there like, Zenib.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you being? I was so confused as to why there was such meanness to it.
Yeah.
And there was also just
so mean,
and also heavy double standards that I'm just sitting there like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, it was just hurtful. It hurt our hearts so bad, and it made us so mad. Like we were.
I was flamed.
Like there was one point I was like brought to tears because of how frustrated and mad I was.
Oh my gosh,
it was the cuties thing.
It was the cuties thing.
It made me because she just straight up lied to the camera to make him look terrible.
They did
She said that he was trying to control how she was eating
Yeah.
and like calling her fat and stuff, even though she's definitely not.
Yeah.
And she
Clearly
recalls
not
this
fat,
one.
and he's never said anything on the show thus far. They did an interview like probably months later of like doing a recap of everything, and then right at the end of the interview, they show the cutie scene.
But she had claimed in that thing, she had never said this before this point, that he was trying to control her eating habits. And was trying to tell her what she could or couldn't eat, and like saying that she was fat and stuff like that.
She was basically implying heavily that he was causing an ED.
And she kept saying to like everybody else, like, you are lucky that they included the clips that they did and left out the ones that they didn't, because if they had seen everything, then they would see how terrible you are, Cole.
Like legitimately, like those are like debatably verbatim.
Yes,
verbatim
and she brings up this time where she was trying to eat 2 cutie oranges
while also eating whatever fruit that she was eating.
She said that all she had eaten that day was a banana and a scoop of peanut butter.
And his first words.
Wait. All she had eaten was a banana and a scoop of peanut butter. And she said that she had went to go get 2 oranges, and he was like, "Are you really gonna eat that?"
This is from her perspective, for the record.
Yes, that's what she said. And Cole was like, that is not at all what happened. Like, please play that clip back. That is not what happened. And Cole's just
like, hey, I'm not trying to make you feel that way. And he was already apologetic for being like, hey, if I made you feel that way, I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant to do. And then at the very end, and she was on her phone at this point, and I kind of yelled a little bit. I was like, Liv!
They're playing the cutie scene.
They're playing the cutie scene. And you were like, and you locked in immediately.
Yeah, I threw my phone down.
I was like, I'm sorry for yelling, but like, this is important.
Oh my gosh, tell them what happened.
And so like they show the scene. It's like, I love how uncut it felt, because it was like,
there were no cuts.
There's no music, no nothing. It was just very basic editing.
Yes.
And it was clearly like a scene that they just didn't want to use because it was just so chill.
Yeah.
But because of the context, they were like, we're gonna show this.
Yeah.
And so they're like they're getting ready for dinner. They're going to go to like a nice little dinner later, probably very soon.
He had
like
mentioned,
like
that they were gonna get steaks
like a steakhouse.
and
so it's gonna be a big thing. So that's context. And so they're just talking kind of like randomly about stuff, and specifically about the wedding stuff and like where the reception could be in the UK and making plans for that. And it's like very chill, and she gets a bowl of something, I'm assuming like fruits or cherries or something like that.
Yeah, it looked like either cherries or tomatoes or something.
And then he kind of starts like taking a few.
They're both snacking on this
They're both snacking,
bowl.
They're both chilling, and then she gets out a couple cuties, and he's like, hey, like, let's
he said like,
what is specifically that he said?
He said, are you gonna eat both of those? He's like, you gotta save room for dinner tonight. And he was like, we're gonna have a big portion. He does this like round thing, and he was like, we're gonna have a lot of steak, and and I think some people, and maybe her, assumed that was him like motioning like, you're gonna be fat.
Basically,
you're fat.
Yeah, but
because of his hand motion.
In my opinion, he was saying that we're gonna be fat together.
Yeah, he was saying like, we're gonna eat so much tonight. Like that was his like notion.
And then he pushed further. He was like, well, what have you eaten today? And she was like, oh, like just like a banana.
No, she just said, well, all I've eaten is a banana and a scoop of peanut butter today.
And he was like, what? Why?
Yeah, he was like, why not? And he was like, I tried to offer you a poke bowl earlier for lunch.
And
why didn't you eat anything?
And she was like, well, I would explain it, but it's just like a whole thing. And he was like, oh, you're trying to get into like that wedding dress like body or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, by the way, all lighthearted, nothing that's serious. No. Not trying to be like, you're such a fat little girl. Like, how dare you? And I'm just kind of sitting there like, he's just trying to be fun. He's just chilling right now.
He kept just trying to bounce stuff off of her, and she was just dead.
And you could just tell. Well, here's the thing. If it was just a transcript, you could potentially morph the words to make him look terrible, but the tone is everything.
Yeah.
Tone communicates everything. Yeah. And so if you hear it, even without the video, and even with the video, it helps a lot to be like, oh, he's just having fun.
Yeah.
He's just talking with you. He's just trying to make conversation with you.
Yeah,
why are you being mad?
You're giving him nothing.
Absolutely.
You're giving him nothing to go.
I was losing my mind the entire time.
We can't talk about it anymore.
But that's why we don't watch it.
Yeah, that's why we can't watch it anymore. Anyway, from that, we went and watched El Camino.
Yeah, which is the Breaking Bad movie.
Yes, and it made me cry.
Yeah, she liked it a lot.
I cried
love it a lot
so much. It was such a good movie.
It was a nice ending for Jesse.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry thinking about it.
It's great. It's a great time.
Anyway, I'm just glad that it ended the the way it did for Jesse, because I always thought that his story was so unjust and that he was just manipulated and kind of wrapped into a scheme he didn't ever really want to be a part of.
Pure heart with unpure hearts.
Yeah, and it made me really sad. Yeah. But I'm just glad that he's at where he's at now.
100%.
And anyway, so very glad about that.
Yeah.
Now we're here. We made it to Grandma's house. Nobody else is here yet, it seems. Yeah. So we're about to go in, talk to Grandma, hang out with her.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's...
And go to Six Flags.
Yeah, go to Six Flags with the sisters. Yeah. So I think that's it for us for today.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, that's it. That's
okay.
it. All right.
Awesome. Well, we're going to Arkansas this weekend to hang out with the Sassers and with Brooks.
Brooks and McKenna.
And Mimi and Mickey.
Yeah.
And so we're probably going to do a podcast on the way up there and potentially on the way back, maybe with our people there.
We'll see. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun.
If people want to. We're going to figure it out. But
anyways, Peace.
Peace. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.